What's up, everybody? Welcome at part 2 of the Nobody Gives a Shit show, where I'm going to show my full crypto portfolio and the altcoins that I am buying. In the last video, I spoke about the first 10 coins that I have in my portfolio. And in this video, I would like to show a couple more because still, I think the time to buy altcoins is right now, actually. They're now nicely sitting at the lows on their Bitcoin pair. On the dollar pair, they're up a little from the lows, but it's nothing too crazy. The big alt season is yet to come. Have we seen an alt season so far? No, and we yet already have seen some altcoins that did very well. So I'm very curious to see how these altcoins are going to perform in this coming alt season bull market. I can make a long story out of it. I actually don't want to waste your time and I want to get right into the content. So let's start off with coin number 11. All I want to ask for you in return, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. That's all you have to do. Everything, right? And I will promise you that you will see my big ugly head more. Good deal, right? Now, coin in my portfolio that is first on this list is Sparta. Sparta is Sparta DEX. Now, I talked about this coin more, and it is an interesting one. Why? Well, Sparta DEX is a launchpad token, and it is a microcap. So the launchpad makes it like the best narrative actually that there is, right? In my opinion, the launchpad tokens are the ones that are going to have one of the biggest returns in crypto. And the fact that it's a microcap, yeah, that makes it extra explosive. It also makes it extra risky. Okay, I want to be very clear about that. More returns is high risk, right? You can't have it all. Now, Sparta DEX, it had a big push. And it had a big... if you look at Sparta DEX, it came out and it found a low at around 9 cents. And it went all the way up to 120. So it did a big fat 13x or so. So this was a big outperformer in the market. Why? This, the whole October-November period was where the market was really ripping. And like I said about CDFI as well, the launchpad tokens, they benefit from that extra. Now, they bleed extra as well. And Sparta, not gonna lie, it is fucking it up, right? Price-wise, because this is going down way harder than any other token as well. Why? Well, one, it's a launchpad, and launchpad tokens are just crashing harder because people don't want to get involved into new token launches if they can't even make money from their existing tokens. So that's obvious. Two, because Sparta had some inflation, which is now already looking a lot better. Like the longer you wait right now, the better it is. If you look at market cap, yeah, it looks kind of different than the price chart, right? Here at the top, and here it's already lower. Well, market cap wise, it at the top and it at a higher high right here. And that's because more tokens are hitting the market. And it's happening pretty fast as well. So the inflation on Sparta at the moment is really bad, but it is getting way better. And at a certain point, it's all out there. So, and even if you look at the fully diluted valuation, it's really low compared to other launchpads. Now, Sparta has some really good launches. I cannot ignore that. That's their whole utility. They had some good launches. They migrated from Arbitrum to Linear. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Linear just doesn't have that big adoption yet. And that might be a reason as well, because it's less accessible. I think it's not a good choice, but I don't know what the reason is. Nevertheless, I think long term this is going to be a big winner, a big winner. So I had some good profits on this. I am now, I think, in a loss barely. Got in at 15, so there was somewhere over here. Yeah, here somewhere. Yeah, it's now there again. If I look what happened right here, I think that this is a really good one. The thing is, with Launchpad tokens, I want to be completely honest, there's another downside to this. You have to stake them in order to get an allocation. Sparta has a slightly different construction. You also have to stake it, but it's not that you at a certain point can unstake it. No, you have to say you want to unstake it. If you directly want to unstake it, you pay around 50% fee. So you have to pay half of your tokens. That's a ridiculous high amount. If you want to have 0 or slight to 0 fees, then you have to wait for half a year or so to get your tokens back. So it's not offering you to keep your tokens liquid. So if you want to buy Sparta because you think it will do well price-wise, which I do, then you can just better maybe hold them in your wallet. If you want to have them because of the IDOs, then okay. But then be prepared that you cannot just get your tokens back as easy as with other launchpads. Nevertheless, they do a very well job. And it's also a gamified DEX, just like DeFi Kingdoms was. Now, I think that DeFi is going to be fantastic in the future. So it has a good combination of multiple things. So Sparta is definitely in my portfolio. Next up is, I have no clue. Game Starter. Okay, another launchpad. And another micro cap as well. Why Game Starter? Well, again, I don't need to explain why launchpads are going to be fantastic. I think you know my reasoning about that. So therefore, launchpads. And I, of course, could take a look at only the CDFIs, the DAO makers, the chain GPTs, etc., etc. Then again, at a certain point, if CDFI, let's hypothetically say that CDFI hits $10, then you know how much it would cost you to get the highest tier? $1 million. Yeah, I don't know. Most people, even if CDFI's quality is way high compared to all the others, people will only look at allocation and they be like, okay, you know, it's expensive. Fuck that project. Let me search for something that's cheap. And then you have GameStart, for example, right? And there are a lot of cheaper launchpad than this, way cheaper launchpads, but they are also really risky. You have all these certain chains, ADA pad, AI tech or AI pad, and every chain has its own launchpad. They are so dirt cheap, but it's also not really the quality. I mean, it's more about like, yeah, something can be cheap, but if it's like bad shit, then is it actually cheap? This is cheap compared to the quality, in my opinion. This has good quality and it's cheap. So if you look what happened in the last run, it went from 2 cents, basically, all the way to 35 cents, right? So you can also see that the cheap stuff did the 15x. And now it's sitting at 10 cents. So compared to where it came from, it's way higher. And it's still down 60-70%, right? Which is like, unfortunately, very average in this market. A lot of coins are down at least that much. So it's not doing anything really different than any other launchpad out there. I think that this is a steal. The reason that I am not going too heavy on this yet is because although it sits at 10 cents, it could also go to 3, right? And I don't want to lose 60% of my money. So I rather wait for this to have a clear confirmation that it's, you know, bottomed out and miss out on a $3 million market cap, but buy at a $5 million market cap. That's still micro cap, right? But at least then I have a lower chance of losing a lot of money. So this one is something that it's not super high on my list, but I'm definitely looking to get a higher bigger bag of this, but I'm waiting still. This is, in my opinion, a pretty good one. Next one on the list is like the video. Oh my god, dude, I have that. Well, here we go. Like the video. Render. AI/Deepin. First AI project in this list. It is high cap. Okay, very clear. Render is a coin that gives me mixed feelings. Why? Well, first, I feel like Render, it already has a $3 billion market cap. So how high could it actually go? Well, we saw from, like I showed in the last video, Cardano was sitting at 1.5 billion or 1 billion and still pulled off 100x almost. If a shit coin like Cardano can do that, then Render should have some chances of pulling something off, in my opinion. Now, it's also one of the outperformers, right? Render has been going up, not giving a complete single fuck when the rest of the market was really having a hard time, right? But Render was really going up and outperformed like almost every altcoin out there, right? So if Render is strong during a non-alt season, I want to be there when it's alt season. So what I did, I just had a lot of shit in my portfolio, some moonshots that weren't really mooning, or stuff from the last cycle or whatever, and I converted all that shit into Render, and that's how I'm building my Render position. My average entry is around this level, maybe slightly higher, slightly 775 or so. Could Render go lower? Yeah, that goes for every coin. I don't know what the low is going to be on Render, but I think that Render has a chance of becoming a top 10 coin actually in this coming cycle, and that says a lot. What was it? $3 billion market cap. Top 10 now is 18, right? Let alone how the top 10 looks when we are peak bull, right? Then this is more 180 maybe, I don't know. I think Render has a really good chance of still pulling off some very decent numbers, although it is already high cap and it already ran quite hard. The narrative is too strong, the community is too strong. And I don't... sometimes even when you feel you are late with something, it's maybe better to jump on the wagon that's going strong than be like, like, okay, you know what, this coin is down so hard, so I'm gonna just buy this shit because this has more upside potential. No, there's a reason why the one is down and why the other is up, right? And Render has the strength. So it's Render. Next one on the list is Ronin. Ronin. Why? What the fuck did I just do? Ronin. It's a layer 1/gaming project, and it's mid/high cap. And L1s are important, right? You can talk about your favorite project, but you know, without any L1, your favorite project does not exist. So that's already a sign to me that what the fuck am I doing? That's already for me like, okay, you have to have a position in layer 1s. And also, gaming is going to be huge. Gaming is going to be huge. Like I explained in the last video, so I'm not going to, you know, repeat myself about that. But gaming is probably going to be, if not at least one of the biggest winners in this cycle. And Ronin has a perfect combination. Now, it's also not massively high cap. If you look at Ronin at the moment, it has a market cap of under $1 billion, I think. Yeah, 700 million at the moment, which is really, really, really low, right? It's, I think, not going to pull off a Solana. So will it 100x from here? I doubt it this cycle. I actually don't, I'm not doubting. I just don't think it will. But I think this has a lot of upside potential. It has the mainstream games, Pixels, Axie. There's a lot of good stuff to come for Ronin. And also Ronin was a big outperformer in this market. If you look, it came from 40 cents, ran all the way up to 450, right? So it did an 11x, while the rest of the market on average did a 4x. So that tells you like, hey, apparently this is the winner. This is going to be the winner. It's simple. So Ronin, it's in my list. I have to get some more tokens still, I think. But again, like I said, again, I'm DCAing into these positions. Next one on the list is Conducts. Now, Conducts is a coin which I am like, I don't know. It's very low cap, very low cap. The FUD and the fear, well, fear is FUD. The FUD was there because of the exploit, but they recovered from that. They recovered from that, and they're doing quite nicely. If you look at the run that they had, that's insane. Okay, that tells me like, yeah, these low cap AI coins are going to rip. If you look at this market cap right here, it was sitting at nothing, right? It was sitting at 1 million, give or take 1.5 million. It shot up all the way to 9, right here, 10 million, and that was just a bump. That was just a bump, and then it went all the way to like 90 million or something like that. A $90 million market cap, and it did it with ease. Right, it was no problem for Condex, and now it is all the way back to 14 million. The product is not worse right now. It's still a great product. I really love Condex, and I think that if you want to have some AI exposure, you should definitely take a look at this. You have your reward staking dashboard as well. Go check it out. It's a Web3 design lab, 3D asset security, OpenUSD plus blockchain. Check out their website. Check out everything that they are doing, because I find it myself really hard to explain AI projects. So I'm just showing you the website like I don't know what the fuck I bought. But in my opinion, these are also the coins that you don't really have to think about. You can just look like, hey, AI is the narrative, right? Look at the AI projects that, you know, respond positively in the last couple of months. Condex is the big winner. It's now low cap. And I'm stacking up at around this price right here. So I am now quite even, I think, on my entry. You have to be a little careful though. It is at the moment a big falling knife, right? As you can see the price chart, it's only going down. And yeah, if you look at market cap, then it has some downside to go. But hey, that's the thing about DCAing, right? You have to do it someday, and that's what I'm doing with Condex. So one of the AI projects in my portfolio that I think is going to do really well. And with really well, I mean, you know, it's like with Condex, it depends on how they develop and how they deliver, and how the AI hype is going to, you know, continue as well. But should be a 20x right there. Then the next one is playable games. Now I want to start with the chart, okay? Because playable games, the chart is looking fucking terrible, but on the other hand, it's also looking quite nicely, right? Now this is playable. Look at this. Why did playable pump so hard? Again, the same reason why I am buying this right now. Because everybody was talking about crypto gaming right here. Playable games, right? It says it in the name. It's a gaming studio. Everybody was talking about gaming. Gaming had a hype right here. Not just a hype, people believed in it, right? And people were looking for the studios, the safer bets, however you want to call it. Playable games was the new one, the new kid on the block. It was a low cap one, and it was also built on AVAX, while AVAX also had all the hype. So playable games was a freaking obvious play, and therefore it went nuts. It did a 30x. Why then is it now coming down so hard? Because what goes up 30x must come down. It's what they say, right? It's now down 88%. Why is that? Because people that bought somewhere here and wrote it all the way up here, if they have any fucking brain cell, they took huge profits, right? Let me say it like this. I don't want to be the bringer of bad news, but if you bought here and did not sell here, you're an idiot, right? Or here at least, take profits. Right? And that's what people are doing. They have big profits. And it is still up from, well, We can take wick low, but range lows basically. It is still up like 2x, 3x, right? But it's coming down really hard, and that's the nice thing. That's the fear, like Warren Buffett says. Like that's the kind of fear that you want to buy. Everybody's now like, yeah, well, gaming is dead. Why is it dead? Is the price chart going down because gaming is dead? Or do you say gaming is dead because the price chart is going down? I think it's the second one. And that's the kind of fear I want to buy. Because here all of a sudden everybody was in gaming. But yeah, that's not really the big profit then, right? If you now buy it and you go back to this high, it's already in 8.5x. It's easy. So yeah, playable games is in my portfolio. And it is a huge freaking falling knife at the moment. It could go way lower than where it is right now, right? It could go really way lower. If we go back to the range lows, that's around another 50% loss. But even at this point, that's worth it for me, right? 50% loss, worth it for me. Very simple, because the upside is way higher. If I lose 50% temporarily, yeah, fine, I'm going to buy more and then ride it up. And I have no doubts that this won't go up, right? Although I don't know. I'm not like sitting here doubting like, yeah, but what if? No, fuck that fear, man. If we get wrecked, we get wrecked with our head up, right? And the upside is, by the way, if you look at the market cap for playable games, yeah, it's great. I mean, it currently is a market cap of $13 million, right? 13 million. It was sitting at 66. Even from that point, I was like, man, this could do a 10x, right? Now we're here. So this might be the 50x play. I don't like to throw it. This could 50x, this could 50x. I'm not that retarded suppo man that's always with his angry head on YouTube saying with his 3-hour videos that everything can do. Oh, this can do 1000x, that can do 1000. Are you retarded? Come on. I don't like that kind of stuff. But this could actually be a 50x play. Okay. Shots fired. Yeah, whatever. Next one. Let me see. Altera gaming / NFT. I think you should have some exposure to NFTs. Okay. In the last NFT run, what was popular? Pictures of fucking rocks and monkeys. People made so much money in crypto that they didn't even know how to spend it in the real world. So they bought a digital image of a fucking rock or a monkey. I would like to say to all these people, you need to jump off something high. Really. If that's what, like, maybe I don't get it, right? Maybe they thought like, that this is art and this is a store of value. Well, now we can all say, of course not, idiot. What the fuck do you think it was? Nevertheless, I forgot where I was going with this. Nevertheless, NFTs are amazing. And they can have some great utility. They could have some like great benefits, right? They can be used for certain access to communities or private servers or whatever, but also for art, real art, right? Don't confuse a picture of a rock online made by some retard with a Picasso painting or anything like that. I'm not an art expert, but I know the difference between these two, right? It could also be used for games, and that's one of the things that's going to be the biggest for, right? That's it. If you like, for example, Assassin's Creed, right? It's bringing out new games after new games after new games. You hear that, Grand Theft Auto? It's possible, right? But you have to start over every fucking single time with new skins, new weapons whatsoever, and that's nice. It's a reset for some people, but on the other hand, if you have a certain sword in the first version of the game and then next version comes out and you can apply that same sort, and you can actually sell that at a certain point. Yeah, that's huge. Ownership, right? NFTs are really about the ownership. That's why I like Altera so much, because they are really the platform, the go-to platform when it comes to that and to smart NFTs. And if you look at NFTs at the moment, look, this is crazy, right? If you, for example, look at the Bored Ape Yacht Club, it's now sitting at 10 Ethereum. If you look at where it came from, at a certain point, people paid 150 Ethereum, right, for a picture of a fucking monkey. Now, it was a little more than that, but it definitely was not worth 150 Ethereum, not for me at least. But you can see that even the blue chip NFTs are completely wrecked, destroyed. You could almost say that it died, right? It's fucking terrible. So that's a buying opportunity, right? But not maybe for these specific NFTs, because you cannot even DCA into NFTs, right? But if you want to buy the whole NFT infrastructure play, then Altera is a very nice bet. And the cool thing about Altera is that it was outperforming the whole market for a long time, where it was going up while the rest of the altcoin market was either going down or sideways. And when the rest of the altcoin market finally went up, this is what Altera did, right? From October 2023 to here. Also just went with the market, but before that it was already running. Now it's just a little overbought and people are taking profits and whatever. And now it's sitting at prices of 2.8 cents. Yeah, we haven't seen these prices in a while, right? It's lower than what it was in October before the big boom. So I think Altera is a no-brainer at this moment. It came from a $260 million market cap. It's now sitting at 20. And so that's 13x that it could actually go up to get back to its previous all-time high. While I think that NFTs are going to be way bigger because they are way better in the coming alt season than what this crap was over here. So Altera is an obvious capital letters obvious play, if you ask me. Okay, cool. Next. Node AI. AI/Deepin. And it is mid cap. Now, I do have this in my portfolio. I must say that price-wise, it is not looking so fine. If you look at it like this, then it's really steadily going down. Steadily going down. On the other hand, what is not going down at this moment? Let's be honest. If we look at Node AI right now, it starts with an N, of course, right? And we have it here. GPU, of course, is the ticker. Okay. Oh, this is how the chart looks like. Now, I want to see how this plays out, because it is holding these levels right here of around 60, 70 cents, give or take. Right, let me make my screen a little better for you guys. There you go. It is holding these lows. I don't want to see these lows break, because then, yeah, 25, 20 cents, next level. The narrative is huge though. It is not that high, right? It's $70 million. If you look at the market cap where it came from, it was sitting at 250, and it basically got there without a sweat. If you want to have that GPU, AI, Deepin exposure, then this might be a nice play. But I would like to see how the price chart plays out in general. So I have a position. It's not like super huge compared to what I want. So that's the thing that I'm still waiting for, to see if it could actually get the price momentum back a little bit. Powering the demand for the next gen AI. Harness the power of decentralized AI with Node AI. Now, go to this website, whatever the fuck you want to see, all fine. What I find is really interesting. average monthly revenue. Cannot see. Yeah, oh yeah, you can see it. $500,000. It's not bad. Not bad. Right? So if they have some good revenue, then I feel like, okay, there is a good chance that this project will survive because they have money to power the project. Now, small tip, by the way, for this project, but also these kind of projects, if you can stake the tokens, okay? This is a lock period of 30 days. So if your money is like liquid in 30 days again, then that's totally fine, because I don't think anybody is expecting the bull market to stop within 30 days. So then you might get the most out of it. You can let them dust away in your wallet, of course, but if you can get more for this, then just do that, right? But like I said, don't go stake tokens for 2 years or anything like that. That's just super unwise to do. So be a little careful with that. But in this case, I just stake my tokens, and in 30 days I'm gonna have them back, and in the meantime I get some E for it as well. So right, it's not gonna be that much, but you don't want it to be that much. Otherwise, you could be like, hey, what the fuck? What kind of Ponzi are we involved in? Well, that's not the case. So, you know, check that out. Next one, a micro cap. Oh, this video is juicy. No BIG, but this is Neuros. Neuros, I have to make it like this. This is obvious, okay? But I want to make very clear. It's super micro cap, right? This has to be lower than micro. I have to have a section which is lower than micro cap. But this is super micro cap. I'm going to show you. That also makes it per definition super fucking high risk, okay? Nothing about the project, nothing about the team, the whatever. Purely the fact that it is so low is so high risk. On the other hand, if you're willing to take that risk with some money, NFA, not financial advice, don't sue me, but then it's such an obvious play to me. This is gaming, which is the biggest winner in this cycle, combined with AI, which is the biggest winner in the cycle, and it is micro cap. This is my moonshot, man. This is my moonshot. So if we go to Neuros, this originally released on Cetify, and it had some vesting, therefore a huge sell-off, right? But what you can also see is that it was sitting at like half a cent, and it shot up all the way to 15 cents. It did a 30x, right? In a market that overall did a 4x. Yeah, I don't know. That's also the reason, again, why this is crashing way harder than average. Because it went up so high. People are taking profits, right? But now back at these levels, where we were basically sitting over here before the big breakout, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm stacking, man. I think that this is the type of project that you only, that goes for everything, but especially this one, is the type of project that you only want to invest in with the money that you actually are able to lose. But also with a decent amount of money that you feel like, okay, you know, if that money 10x's, nice, right? Sometimes I put like $200 in something and then it 10x's, 2K. It's like, okay, it's nice. I always went like, okay, I could have done a little more than that. So with Neuros, I am having a pretty good risk-reward adjustment to this. But even the fully diluted, $2.5 million, right? For now, it's probably going to be silent on their side because gaming is just not there, right? Gaming is not there. But it will come back. And with their AI gaming, I don't know, man. I love it. This is the gameplay footage. Check it out. Little piece of it. Let me make the quality a bit better for you guys so you can see actually what this is. Now, what I like so much about this is that everybody is anticipating like, whoa, Blood Loop is going to be like, whoa, this and that. And for a crypto game, this actually looks quite the same, right? It's like, you don't want to compare this kind of stuff with a Call of Duty or anything like that. But then again, for a crypto game, it's pretty nice, right? And if I then compare the market cap of this to some games that look like this with a way higher market cap, I feel like, yeah, okay, pretty good, pretty good. And they have their whole AI incubated as well. So that's what I like about it. They have a pretty good team. You can check out the team right there. So it's not a review for this project, but do check it out. This is my moonshot that I'm hoping on, that it will do really well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, and then we'll wrap it up. Last one is Superverse. Okay, gaming. It's a mid cap. Now Superverse is an obvious play. If anybody looks at this chart, they'd be like, okay, this should be a good one for the bull market. Why? Look at the outperformance in this market right now. It went from 8 cents, 7, 8 cents, all the way to 150. And we're back at 60. So it shows you right here, again, this is the huge outperformer. This is going to be great, this bull market. And now we're getting a chance. Here, this resistance. Now we're getting a chance to stack up on it. Now it's having a very good correction. That's great. It's gaming infrastructure. They partner with all the freaking games out there. From what I heard, they're starting a chain. I'm not sure what they now do exactly in partnership with all these games. That's not really clear to me yet. But yeah, you have to watch Elio's videos about it, I guess. But in my opinion, I just want to be, even with Off the Grid, they have their partners. It's fucking insane. But I just want to be there with the big winners. And this is a big winner. Their website is on point. Their partnerships are on point. The founder is one of the biggest YouTubers out there. I love that as well. Elio, he's nailing it, man. He's nailing it. And I love what he's building. Now, is this a 100x potential coin? Yeah, I don't know. But could this do a few billion in the bull? Yeah, that should be possible. That should be possible, definitely. Again, if you look at price, you know, don't look too much at this, although I think in this case we could go there. But look at market cap, okay? It made a new high, and that's strong. That's really strong. It made a new high in a market where altcoins were not outperforming Bitcoin on average. So you want to look which altcoins did better than average. Well, Superverse nailed its previous all-time high, right? Sitting at 5 something. It's now 700 million. So big winner, in my opinion, should be really good. That's it for today. The rest of the list will be done in a new video. We'll make 2 more videos about this. So stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't done already. Please like the video. Let me know, out of these coins so far, which one do you like most and why? And which one do you think should go? It's also important because, as you see, the list is too big. I need to let go of some stuff. Please help me out. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.